Good afternoon, fastest furs. My name is jammitch, and Shinji, want to introduce yourself quickly?
Howdy. Yep, I'm Shinji 16. Been doing the music game things for quite a long time, similar to jammitch, although different flavors. And in regards to why they're different flavors, jammitch, you want to finish introducing the game?
Yeah, so this is DeltaBeats. This is a touchscreen rhythm game. It's available for free for the most part on iOS and Android. There are some DLC songs, but we'll kind of get into that in a moment. And touchscreen rhythm games are kind of really my thing if you've ever seen me around in some of these events before. So, first, I want to introduce you to the mascot, Ado-kun. Say hi to Ado-kun, say bye to Ado-kun. We're not going to see him again because we get to pick any avatar we want out of the Vroid Hub, and we're going to pick something that's just a little bit more marathon appropriate. All right.
While jammitch gets that queued up, yeah, I'm surprised more music games don't do this, especially, with the rise of the whole VTubing thing.
All right, so I'm going to dive right in, and we can start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go. And Shinji, want to tell us what we're looking at?
Absolutely. So, if you're familiar with music games, the whole idea of touch button, do thing, likely in time with music game, there we are. There's been a recent surge in touch-based games just because of smartphones or mobile with a capital M. This game, DeltaBeats, is an independent project that's heavily based on a game called Crossbeats, which you might have seen jammitch do before. Jammitch may or may not have a gigantic arcade cab with it that he's showcased on GDQ, I swear. One thing to note, especially for Crossbeats, is it was one of the more recent projects by Naoki. Naoki being the heart and soul of very early DDR for years and years, and then went on to do Seven's Code, and then Crossbeats, and most recently Mash VP or Mashup. But mechanically, this is very, very close to Crossbeats. We've got 3 note types. We've got the tap beats, which are the triangles. Pretty much what it says on the tin. You tap them when appropriate. Then there are flicks. Those are the arrows, the directionals, and you tap and then move in the direction of them. And then lastly, there are the hexagons, which are holds. You have to hold them for a period of time. And again, this is very similar to Crossbeats, both in terms of how notes are displayed when they're incoming, and also that quite a few songs are by Naoki. Even though this is a fan project, about half of the library is by Naoki, but there are some other guest artists as well. And quickly echoing what jammitch was mentioning, if you do like what you're seeing here, go get it. This is a free project. The few songs that are paid DLC, the devs here are incredibly community focused. All of the proceeds from any of the paid songs either go directly to local arcades in Japan or to groups that help organize tournaments and events for the player groups in Japan. Absolutely wonderful project. If you like what you're seeing, please check this out.
So, casual 100% on the ballad. You can see we got our judgments over here. Fantastic being the best, and great being second best. Nice is kind of the neutral judgment. That will lower our clear rate, but it won't break our combo. Bad and miss are the ones that will break our combo. And this rate number here, the 100%, is really combo driven. So if I miss a note in the middle of the song, you might see it suddenly drop from 100 to 90 or something like that. So just to be aware of it. Okay, so you're going to head on. I'm going to skip that other one for now. We'll come back to that.
Just casually FCing and PCing. Great job.
And now there's one other member here, one other person here who needs to introduce themselves yet, so take a moment.
Thank you very much, jammitch. Hello, chat. Good time zone, everybody. I am Yoshi Chief, and I am your UK representative of Stars, and I'll be here looking at hosting for the next 2 runs. It's basically kind of like the rhythm block. Hope everyone's enjoying it so far. One thing I do want to mention, we have a incentive for the hard song showcase for DeltaBeats, which the cutoff is at the end of this current run. There are 2 level 11 songs, which are the hardest songs in the game that can be played if this incentive is met. Now, I don't know about you, but I absolutely love rhythm games. And you know what we all like to have? Even more rhythm games. So please, if you're able to, go and donate to this incentive right now. The target is $500. We're currently at $102.21. Let's see some go in and see if we can get this showcase met. Back to you, jammitch.
So yeah, we're talking about 11s. This is a 6.
And that grading scale of songs being 1 to 11, that sounds familiar. Is that taken from anywhere, jammitch?
It's a nod to Seven's Code, which was the original spiritual successor to Crossbeats. Unfortunately, that was a live service game that is no longer available.
Same thing for, both Seven's Codes and Crossbeats are unfortunately no longer in service. So the arcade versions and their iOS versions, respectively, no longer active. But also, more Naoki. And there's, quite a bit of crossover from those games into this. So we have the base mechanics, the way that the clear rate works. There's also the life gauges that gets used, especially Hazard Bar, which is notoriously shown up in all of them, and even in a Match VP, the most latest project from Naoki. But yeah, if you ever played or saw those games, you're going to be right at home in DeltaBeats.
So this song is Seventh Trip, which was one of the menu musics in Seven's Code, which was basically a quasi-rhythm game visual novel hybrid. So it was released, basically the story was released over the course of a year. So depending on exactly which phase you were playing in the game, which month you came in, you got different menus, different menu musics. This is one of the leitmotifs of the game. I also saw in chat, I think it was Ixiot mentioned the devs promoting this showcase on their Twitter. The devs are actually doing commentary over on the Japanese restream right now as we speak.
And also, speaking about the stream, just mentioning, it seems that we might need to try to get the music audio turned up a pinch if possible, or the voices lowered a pinch if possible. But yeah, regarding the devs being available on the restream, again, cannot stress enough how much this is a community-focused effort from the devs.
May I jump in super quick?
Absolutely.
We have a $25 donation from Blaze, who says, donation train to free the adorable panda trapped in Jammitch's iPad. Free the panda! Free the panda! This is going towards the Hard Song Showcase. Let's see if we can get that donation train going. Let's go.
Thank you so much for that. And that actually does lean into one of the mechanics, too. So it does look like that the other character is kind of like on an invisible side of glass. But one of the reasons that this game does support avatars is that for multiple inputs at a time, we're not going to be seeing any more than 2 notes at a time. So as a result, having an avatar that can be hitting notes with their left and right hands, it works out. We're not going to be seeing any headbangs for 3-note chords. But to that point, talking about charting, the charting in this game is done by a lot of folks that were in the Crossbeats community, but touch games overall, whether we talk about Crossbeats, DeltaBeats, Beatstream, or what have you, there's still a wide horizon that has yet to be explored. That's one of the big appeals for these kinds of games compared to more traditional music games. We think about Beatmania, where it's a bunch of notes in a column and you're kind of stationary on 7 keys for that. Or, for Taiko, we've got 2 inputs, inside and outside of the drum. With the way that these charts behave, there isn't any memorization needed, but knowing that a chart is going to be going into certain patterns or certain routines, there's a certain amount of movement that you have to be concerned about, like literally turning and twisting your hands and knowing where you're going to be kind of logistically piloting yourself. The phrasing that jammitch likes to use a lot, and I love it, is that these types of games are much more dynamic, whereas a lot of other music games tend to be more static in regards to their physical movement and execution. And there's a really joyful element to that.
This song is called Pandora. It's another song that originated in Seven's Code. And if you played old school DDR, you might recognize the vocalist Kosaka Ryu, who was a frequent collaborator with Naoki back in the 2000s. and he kind of called her up and said, "We're getting the band back together."
Yeah, I was about to say that was kind of like in the right before Terra became a thing and B4U was starting to fade. If for Be Mighty fans that remember that, and yeah, Naoki's ability to just kind of get the band back together is really impressive. Both for Mash VP, Crossbeats, DeltaBeats, a lot of artists, both old and new, just joining in and adding songs or contributing to things or events.
We're moving right along into the 7th Commands, which you're going to hear a similar leitmotif in this one as you did in Pandora, but without any vocals over it.
Once again, 7's code. But talking a bit more about the kind of mechanics and the behind-the-scenes aspect of it, if you're familiar with music games, there's some things that you might be expecting or hoping for when taking on a new music game, such as either offset, speed mods, being able to change your judgment displays, and DeltaBeats has that entire range covered. It does has offset options, it does have speed mods, which in this case determines how quickly the notes appear. The rate at which they're appearing is static. It's just your visual indicators. If you want more of a heads up, or if you want them to only like very quickly appear with a warning, so less visual clutter, that's our speed mod. And there is no changing BPM in this game. There's soft land, as it's nicknamed in music games. But yeah, the entire range of quality of life for getting like early, late indicators, different note skins. There are no custom charts, but pretty much everything else you can think of for quality of life and customization to help you do the thing is available.
Can I just say how absolutely mesmerized I am in watching this run? It looks like absolute magic. But what do you think, chat?
I mean, I'm kind of in a similar position. So I typically play more, I don't want to say traditional, but like static music games myself. Like my main one is Doubles and 2DX. And I love how even if you're a veteran music game player, watching a completely different music game, like I'm used to statics and this is more of a dynamic. Yeah, even to me, sometimes I'm watching jammitch do his thing and I'm just like, this is witchcraft. What are you doing? Like, I can follow along for the most part for like 6s and 7s, but once we get into like 8s and 9s, I'm just slack-jawed at some points. But that's 8s and 9s. There are possible 10s and maybe 11s on the docket. Hopefully we hit that incentive, because I would love jammitch to showcase some of the skill that can go into this.
Yeah, we're still sitting in the 7s, so we got some room to go up yet. So this song is called... Let me quickly go through this.
Go ahead.
This song is called Techno World. It is named after an actual arcade in Iwate Prefecture, with the same as of Iwate Evolved, the group that made the game. This is one of the DLC songs. Proceeds go towards supporting that arcade. Right,
I was just about to mention that, yeah, talking about those DLCs. So this was the first one that got added, and again, any proceeds from sales of this song go right to a local arcade. And worth mentioning that is a mom and pop. There are some chain arcades, such as Round 1, but no, any of the efforts for these DLC songs, it's for the local scene and the local community.
Just want to remind everyone watching this that we still have the Hard Song Showcase, which can be seen if the incentive is met after this run is over. 2 big level 11 songs, the hardest songs in the game, and we want to see more rhythm games. We are currently at $127.21. The target is $500. I think we can do it, chat. We want to free the panda, don't we? We can definitely do it. Let's go. Trans rights.
Absolutely, and I was about to say, like, whether we meet that goal or not, again, we're here for Trans Lifeline. Really, really excited and hoping that we meet that incentive. And on point for folks that may or may not know, the next music game on deck, Vivid Stasis, incredibly, trans themed music game in general. Just thrilled to see that as part of the events for this event.
Oh, I wanted to point out that this sounds a little familiar, doesn't it?
Just a bit.
Alright, let's go back up here. So this song, this is a 6, but I don't really think it's a 6. This is some pure minimal techno. It's got some very tricky charting rhythms, so let's take a look.
Yeah, talking about the song library in this for a second. But first, I do see Rubicante in chat mentioning that this game looks so cool. If this looks interesting to you folks, and you want to give this a go, and remember that we are seeing upper level play. Like there are easier charts and there are slower speed mods, so you've got more time to react to what's happening. So, like, it is a very beginner-friendly game to try. It is free. If this looks fun, if you've got either an iPhone or an Android device, search it up on the App Store and grab it. It is a free project. But,
I think I might get this myself when the run is over. I am definitely curious to try it out myself.
Yeah, it is a very, very fun game. And again, the charting, which is really the soul of touch games, because how you literally interact with the song and with the music, and the way that certain charts can cause you to have to either re-angle your hands or like reorient your perspective on what the game's asking you to do. It is a much more interactive thing, even though it's not necessarily key sounded, which is usually what helps with immersion on more static music games like Poppin' and 2DX. It is a joy to execute. There's so much more of a physical element to it, and the only way you can find that out is by trying it, and there's nothing at risk trying it other than a little bit of your time. So yeah, if this looks interesting to you folks, please check it out. And talking about the sound, the overall library here, it's not super diverse compared to some other music games. Like Poppin' is spin a wheel, pick a genre, it's in there. This is a bit more of quote-unquote traditional music games. Like there's a lot of like Otoge or like, J-core, happy hardcore. But there are some more experimental songs in here which lend to really interesting charting, and some that are a bit more minimal. So there is a healthy gamut in here.
Naoki, in particular, contributed a lot of the songs to this, when he's a very diverse artist, but that is kind of why there's, I won't say similarities, but a lot of what he does is present in this game.
Very much so, yeah. I think we found that Naoki's just a little under half of the library, which ain't a bad thing, but worth mentioning that he's got a healthy presence for sure. And I see a couple folks in chat talking about if Vivid Stasis or if it's Trans Beats. Yeah, absolutely. Very strongly agree on that front. I've played a little Vivid Stasis myself. Great project.
Trans beats are definitely funky beats.
Alright, speaking of Naoki, we're going to get a song by Revenge, which is his world music alias, and we're moving into the 8s now, and I'm a sucker for any electronic shamisen.
Yeah, when we were doing our practice for this earlier this week, we were talking about how shamisen just kind of lends itself to music games in terms of the charting. Just really percussive and really rhythmic. But here we can just see some really fun stuff in the opening with those flick notes being turned into more like long directional slides. Again, the way that these can be charted is incredibly fun. And talking about the panda, we might notice that he's super wide-eyed at the moment. And then eventually he's going to be getting more of a smiley face on. The avatar does react to how you're playing based on how you're doing. Typically when I'm playing, the avatar looks a little bit more distressed because I am not nearly as skilled as jammitch.
Looking absolutely adorable there at the moment.
Jackhammers.
Yeah, and hanging back for a moment just because I'm actually a really big fan of this song. Love those chain taps. Yeah, I'm mentioning that one thing that Crossbeats and DeltaBeats really took into consideration, as opposed to a Beatstream, which was another touch game song or touchscreen game. The lines you see letting you know that a note is coming in, like for Crossbeats it was squares, because a cross beat, and here it's DeltaBeats, so it's triangles, but those lines let you see, hey, you've got a note incoming here, so even if you have a hand or a finger covering the area, you have that heads up. But one thing that we'll see, especially on repeated notes, is that we'll see those lines rotate, so we know that there's multiples coming in. But also you can, if you're making a chart, you could aesthetically have it be rotating on certain axes just for artistic reasons, and visually there's some awesome stuff in these charts.
I'm going to move right along to Melancholy Vision. This is another Naoki alias Desire, and old school DDR players may recognize this as a spiritual successor to something. There's a lot of that in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so we've got, the old school Healing Vision, and then we had Melancholy Vision. It was in Seven's Code first, if I remember correctly. I know that this also recently got revived in Mash VP as well.
Yeah, this was actually a Step Maniac song first, I believe.
Right. I always keep mixing that up. But yeah, a couple of these are also in Step Maniacs as well, which Naoki's helped collaborate on with Kyle Ward. But yeah, just great new material from Naoki, like 20, 30 years at it and like still putting out bangers. And there in the lower left corner, we can see that rotating indicator I was talking about. Just looks really nice, but it's also mechanically helpful. Go ahead, Yoshi.
I was gonna say, just a sort of small reminder to everyone, we still have the hard song showcase that needs to be met, and you know what? Let's have a little thing going. Let's have a little dono train going. So I have a question for everyone, chat. One very simple question. What is your favorite rhythm game tracks? Can be either from this or from any particular sort of rhythm games. I have like quite a few favorites in Elite Beat Agents, for example. So let's get a train going. Let's get that towards the hard song showcase, which will be happening at the end of the run if the incentive is met. Let's see some answers. Let's see some no's.
Yeah, we definitely want to try to meet that showcase because again, the songs are rated 1 through 11. And that incentive is for 2 11s, which again
fingers go bird. Fingers go bird.
Yeah, very much so.
Alright. Got one more Naoki song in this block. Naoki Underground is kind of his trance alias. So.
Yeah, aliases are kind of a unique thing to music games. Way back when Bimani games like Beatmania and DDR were just coming out to help make it seem that there were more artists in the game. Oftentimes, the staff artists would be using aliases. So, no, it's not just me. There's actually 5 people here. But in more recent years, it's often gotten used so that, like, if an artist has like traditionally been associated with a certain genre, they can put out a song under a different alias, in a completely different genre. So the judgment or the reception isn't going to be as harsh of like, oh, I don't know about this because like I usually listen to this artist for this genre. And it's also let some folks really deep dive into some interesting things, like in the case of Naoki with the Revenge alias, to do some things that are more certain culture focused around the world and just lead to some really interesting songs because that's an alias that's bent on trying to feature specific sounds from like different countries or different cultures. And then with the Underground alias, you get more of like the trance and not quite hardcore, but like hard trance, and just again, great stuff. Whole note saying we love self-alias collabs. Yeah, that's happened a couple times. More recently, we'll see, artist A versus artist B, and they're both aliases for the same artist, which is hilarious.
I see Kibbles is chiming in with favorite rhythm game songs is Eagle Seeker. Ooh, I'm not sure I heard of that one. Where is that from, I wonder?
I was about to say, I wasn't sure on that either. I was quickly hopping to the internet to check. Because a lot of my history is more Bimani focused, so games that are officially put out by Konami. Taiko is a popular game, but that's by Namco. But yeah, a lot of my peripheral memory is within Bimani. Reverse from Noise, talking about great independent projects. We've got DeltaBeats up next for the marathon. We've got Vivid Stasis, and then we've got the devs for Noise, and then also like Project God Hand. Ooh, good taste. I salute that. Very good, Ixiot.
May I jump in super quick?
Oh, of course.
We have a $5 donation from Freckles, who says, my favorite rhythm game is a Freckles cover by Tiggy. No bias. Very, very good. That goes towards the hard song showcase. Let's get the train continuing. Let's get the train rolling.
Everybody's first 7, unless it was Abyss.
Yeah, Freckles was definitely a gateway for sure. Also seeing Ruffy saying, I don't think Rocksmith counts. I mean, granted, Rocksmith is more of a, like, learn how to play guitar, but yeah, that's a rhythm game. Counts. Like, if you're, like, I always like to tell folks, especially when I hear them say, oh, I play this game, but I'm not a real player because I'm not playing at the upper difficulties. No. If you're playing a game and having fun, congrats. You're doing it right. So, like, Ruffy, like, Rocksmith, absolutely counts. Also, Kibble's mentioning the Eagle Seekers from Archaea. I'm not a huge fan of Sound Voltex, which Archaea is kind of like a pseudo translation of to mobile, but Archaea, incredible game. And TK Wolf mentioning that the mod being super cute. Yeah, that again, this avatar, if you have I think it's, what is it? I always drop the name of it mid event. I apologize, but this game supports custom avatars. So, in fact, that's what we're using for this event, kind of obviously. But yeah, if you've got a 3D model, you're likely going to be able to use it with this game.
Free the panda. Free the panda.
Yeah, it's VRM files that you're thinking of.
VRM, thank you.
And the Vroid hub is where I've got just downloaded it from. So that's a PB. I will take that.
Oh, we take those.
Yo.
Let's go.
Casual 100%. Here's Dark Phoenix. Table this for now.
Ooh.
We're gonna go on. We got a little more happy hardcore here with Gao Gao Fight.
Hooray for some happy hardcore. Love that genre.
We are into the 9s now. And you're running out of time to see those 11s, by the way.
Yeah, we do want to try to beat that incentive. And again, remember, we're going to be supporting Trans Lifeline. So if you are able to donate, please and thank you.
Yes, we are currently on $132.21. Let's see if we can get this up and higher. Let's keep the train rolling.
We do have time, but yeah, time is running out. Also, Ixiot saying in chat, not enough people who play at high level remember to have fun. Ugh, there is a minor grain of truth to that, and I always try to be the change I want to see in the world, and reminding folks, if you are tapping buttons and having fun and not being a jerk to anyone else in the process, congrats, you are doing it right. And yeah, Kakurati saying need to see games offer VRM support. Yeah, with the rise of VTubing and like VR in general, like especially with there's talking about how touchscreen games are a frontier that's actively being explored. Same thing for VR games as well, for music games specifically. Shocked that there hasn't been more support for them. Oh man, this song is good. Like, there are some genres that lend themselves to music games better than others, but man, happy hardcore is always just a solid go-to.
So we're starting to see a few more polyrhythms, which are patterns where it wants me to do two different things, one on each hand. Typically, you got a beat on one hand and the rhythm on the other. As we keep climbing up the levels, we're going to start seeing it where it's going to ask me to play like the beat on the left and the melody on the right, and then flip it later in the song, which increases the difficulty a ton because you basically have to be ambidextrous.
Yeah, typically on the earlier difficulties, you'll see just with one hand sticking to one thing without any flipping happening, because, again, that's easier to get your standing as a player figuring the game out. Because it's one thing to have, like, musical timing, and it's another to understand, oh, me seeing this thing happening in the game means I need to physically do this, whether that's tap a part of the screen, hit a button on a controller, etc. But yeah, traditionally, with a lot of music games, seeing that flipping of responsibilities of where you're now doing one thing with a different extension of yourself, that's common.
So here we have Not Still by Dendy Crew, the one American artist in the game.
Also a bit more of the more highbrow electronica. But also leans itself to more either like polyrhythms or just like really creative charting. So I am not complaining to have it here. Plus, you know, it's great music.
Very complicated rhythms.
It's always good when the song has meat on the bone in terms of how you can interact with it as a from a charting or like, you know, having the player do things standpoint.
I would like to remind everyone what we're doing here, what all of this is for. You're watching Fastest First Full Fest 2025 in support of Trans Lifeline. The mission of Trans Lifeline is to connect trans people to the community support and resources that they need to survive and thrive. They envision a world where trans people have the connection, economic security, and care that everyone needs and deserves, free of police, emergency responders, and prisons that disproportionately inflict violence and mistreatment on trans individuals. Since 2014, Trans Lifeline operators have answered over 100,000 calls from their peers, and we fully support the mission of Trans Lifeline to help and empower trans people through the power of community and shared life experience. To learn more, please visit www.translifeline.org or type !charity in the chat. And anything that you put towards the hard mode showcase incentive will go directly towards Trans Lifeline. And we all love that, don't we? Trans rights.
Absolutely. And again, thank you to Fastest First for having this showcase. Always happy to help both, you know, bring some attention to this project, but more importantly, Trans Lifeline, incredible work. Happy to be helping support such a wonderful cause. Trans rights forever.
Big if true. So I'm gonna jump ahead in the song list a little bit since we just had the charity call out, highlighting the very important work that we're trying to support here, which is to help trans people, some of the most marginalized in our society, stay alive. So on that note, Shinji, would you mind giving us a quick minute of some direct focus positivity?
Absolutely. Yeah, one thing I do with my live streams is I have a redemption for a moment of positivity where I frequently repeat to folks, take a moment to step back and remember, you matter, you are valid, and you deserve to be happy. Doesn't matter what anyone else tells you, friends, family, coworkers, and most of all, yourself. Because in those moments of difficulty, your brain is going to lie to you. It's going to try to make you think that things are worse than they are and that there's nothing you can do. And I hope in those moments of trial and difficulty, you're able to remember that that's not the case. There's always something you can do. It's always worth trying to better yourself or those around you. And it's effort always worth undertaking and celebrating. Appreciate all of you being here, and I hope you're able to continue fighting the good fight, because in these current times, unfortunately, it is definitely needed. And it was difficult for me to keep a straight face for that, because right before I dug into that moment, Hyena saying, wait, rhythm game with Red Panda playing with you? What in the Teto Connect? Oh my god! Yeah, we were discussing what rhythm game this was similar to with the avatars, and yeah, Tetote definitely came up. Oh. So that was a project where you played in front of a gigantic monitor. You were basically going like kind of hand to hand with an avatar on the screen. That is an aimed shot. Oh, and I love that, Adam. Even if you don't believe in yourself, believe in the red panda in the iPad who believes in you.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Those expressions, they are absolutely cute. Don't you agree, chat?
I can definitely agree. And we're lucky that we have jammitch here with us, because again, how happy the avatar is reactive to how well you are playing. If I was doing this showcase, that panda would be looking very distressed the entire time. But luckily we have jammitch at the helm. And again, folks, if you think this looked interesting, if you think this looked fun, get this now. It is out for free. But more importantly, if you're impressed by this gameplay, we do have that showcase that we're hoping to make it over in terms of the goal. And again, we're supporting Trans Lifeline. So if you're able to donate, please and thank you.
I'm going to call out tied my PB. We're going to get that hundo soon, but it just wasn't quite right now.
Yo,
oh yeah,
PB.
we're just. I was about to say we're just casually tying PB on marathon stream. Like, yeah, sure. Not
Right.
weird flex, but okay. But hey, that's excellent. Let's go.
Moving right along, we got a little bit more happy hardcore.
Oh no, more happy hardcore. Whatever will I do?
Remember, we're in the 9s. We got some 10s to go, and we got some 11s, depending on the donations we can get.
Yeah, and this is where it starts to get where I can kind of follow along. I absolutely cannot play at this level, though. I'm still firmly in like the 6s and 7s. And again, for folks that might be new to music games or touchscreen games, please do not let this scare you. We are definitely viewing top of the scale play in terms of both difficulty and skill as a player. Jammitch might not say it much, but one of the better touchscreen players in the country, if not the world.
Gonna jump in here with another reminder that we still have the hard song showcase, but the time is running short. We want to try and hit $500 so that we can get the last 2 hardest songs in the games. And you know what that means? You know what that means, chat? It means more rhythm games. And who would want to say no to more rhythm games? Let's see if we can get this hard song showcase back. We need to hit the $500 target. Let's see if we can make it happen.
To see that happen if we can. Because we've got 2 very, very scary 11s on deck for that. And I know Jammitch would love to have fingers go burr for that.
Yeah, I'd really love to show you that last J-Core song. It's a beast. Alright, Parasymptoms. So we're back to Naoki, and we're back to yet another callback that some of you classic DDR players may recognize.
I mean, one could say that, like, you know, you might be paranoid thinking that all this stuff is by Naoki.
No, Paranoid's a different throwback.
Yeah.
We have a $10 donation from Tripty CHR, who just simply comments, "Free the panda." We absolutely want to free the panda. That's going towards the hard song showcase. Thank you ever so much. Your help doing for a very, very good cause. Thank you ever so much.
And at this point, I'm kind of just trying to see if there's any questions in chat. Just kind of reacting to that, but then also trying to hand back a pinch because we've gotten the introductory stuff out of the way, and this game has banging music.
You see, chat, listen to this fantastic music right here. Doesn't that sound absolutely great? We definitely want to see more of that in the hard mode showcase. We love rhythm games. We want to continue rhythm games. We can do it. We absolutely can. Let's see if we can make it happen.
Yeah, I've definitely got faith that we can. And even if you're not able to donate, again, echoing what we were saying earlier, this is to support an amazing cause. So remember, just by being here, tuning in, hanging out, lurking and vibing, spreading the word, you are helping so many other folks. Thank you for being here and making this as awesome as it is. And yes, I'm talking to you in chat.
You.
I see someone in chat getting hyped for Black Lolita.
I was about to say, I was looking forward to this. Black Lolita, one of the, in the relative like timeline of music games, a newer artist, but whoa, have they come out swinging. Absolutely incredible work. And if I remember correctly, Road to Grand Stage, this was one of the tournament songs that happened recently, right?
I believe this was a theme for a 2DX tournament named the Taniguchi Cup.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to kind of confirm. And yeah, definitely a little bit more atypical compared to what Black Lolita does, but at the same time, it's Black Lolita.
So I see one recurring word going on in this game, and that is the word fantastic. You know who else is fantastic? You lot, you in chat. You are all fantastic, and thank you for everyone who has donated so far towards the hard mode incentive. Let's see if we can get more in. We are definitely able to do it. Let's go!
Yeah, we're definitely starting to see a lot of trickiness here. I'd say like the hardest thing in this are the flick notes, just because not only do you have to be on time when you initially hit the screen, but then you've also got the directional. But they can also do some really interesting things, like we'll see chains of them, so it's more like an extended slide in a certain direction. There's also a couple of charts where they're rapidly back and forth, left to right, so you almost have like kind of like a scratching in place. Just some really creative stuff, but yeah, the timing on them is really nightmarish. More so in Crossbeats, but they're a bit more lenient here, thankfully.
They're actually really cozy at this game. Crossbeats, though, they are an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. Speaking bluntly, Jammitch is one of the better players for Crossbeats in the world. And I know that one of the gatekeepers for PBs is just getting lucky on flick notes.
I mean, it's skill, just not an easily harnessable skill. Alright, so we got about 5 more songs in the main set list, so I'm putting y'all on notice. Let's get that incentive met.
I believe in you, chat. Help us get there.
We're bringing back Dendy Crew for one more kind of experimental techno song here. This one's got some really fun but really tricky patterns.
Again, when a song has more polyrhythms or just more atypical percussion, just more meat on the bone from a charting perspective.
Speaking of incentives, we have some coming in. We have $14.28 from Shinji16. Who is that, I wonder?
Yeah,
and the
who could
comment
that
is,
be?
I'm a simple human. I see music games. I donate. Trans rights and free the panda. I don't think I could have said it any better myself. That goes towards the Hard Song Showcase. Thank you ever so much. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, kind of a key number for a lot of the projects Naoki has been on is 4/28, being that April 28th is his birthday. For folks that play Step Maniacs, you might have heard of Max 428. But yeah, 573 is the Bimani or Konami number, but for anything Naoki's involved in, it's 428.
It's also a Japanese numbered pun for Shibuya.
I keep forgetting about that, Kodawase. Yeah, if you're a fan of puns, you should learn Japanese just so you can take part in all of the incredible number puns that they do.
May take you 20 or 30 years of learning.
Likely worth it, though. Yeah, big fan of this song. Very reminiscent of Electal, which is another kind of more atypical electronic artist in the Bimani and music game scene.
There's that hand switch on the polyrhythm. That's so fun.
And again, folks, if you like what you're seeing, a reminder, this game is available for free. If you have a smart device, if you have an iPhone, you have an Android tablet, go get it. Would love to see more players and more hype for this project.
F-R-E-E, free?
I know, right?
Sounds good to me. We are currently on $156.49 for the Hard Song Showcase. I'm sure we're able to meet that target for the Hard Song Showcase incentive. Let's keep it going.
Speaking of hard songs, so what's up next, jammitch?
So, we're out of 9s. We're not out of 9s. We have one more 9. But this is kind of a 9+ in my opinion.
Yeah, this is a 9 that rounds up.
So you were telling me about the backstory of this when it originated in Step Maniacs.
Yeah, typically when Step Maniacs, which is the most recent dance game project by Kyle Ward of In the Groove fame, typically their updates are just, hey, here's the songs coming out this month, and that's it. They teased this song at the end of those updates for a couple months. This is a absolute boss song with a capital B from Naoki under the Revenge alias. And I'm shocked that this is only a 9 in DeltaBeats. Like, this easily could be a 10, if not an 11.
It is a 10.
Yeah, it's a 9 that rounds up.
Why have it at 10 when you could put it at 11?
Hayashia is asking, how old is this game? Never heard of it. Again, doesn't have the same publicity as some other games, just because the group that runs it is, the fan community, essentially. So they don't quite have the same PR team and backing as larger projects. It's one of the reasons why whenever jammitch mentions that he's going to be doing a showcase, I'm happy to help hype it up, because, yeah, incredible game that's by the community, for the community. But I want to say it's, 2-3 years old, if I remember correctly?
Somewhere in that range.
Yeah, and it's still actively getting updated. In fact, it was the 1.8 update a month ago, if I remember. It was either 1.8 or 1.9, but yeah, still has new songs getting added for free. And once in a while, we still see some paid songs. And again, those proceeds go towards local arcades and communities that run events for the community. Like, cannot hype this up enough. So Ala Blakeova mentioning that this game does seem like a bit much, and worth mentioning, we are watching upper level play. Like, these songs are rated 1 through 11, and we're on 9s right now. Also mentioning that jammitch is playing on a higher speed mod, so there is less time that the notes are on screen. By default, there's much more of a warning of the notes coming in. So, rephrasing all that, this is not what the game expects you to do out of the gate. If this looks like it might be fun, it is very much an approachable and easy game to get into, for sure. So, don't let the high-level play scare you off. If anything, let that entice you to check it out.
So,
May I jump in super quick?
Go ahead.
We have a $20 donation from DD6, who simply says, bark, 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 bark. Woof. That's dog for trans rights. And that goes towards the Hard Song Showcase. Very, very much thank you so much for this. And also, I have a question for you, jammitch, when you're able to answer. How much practice have you been putting into the bonus stages? I am very curious to know.
So I've been playing these kind of games for 8 years, and the general ideas don't change, but you do need to kind of practice the songs. But a decent amount, a few hours.
Yeah, so again, there are some games that at their top difficulty take a little bit of memorization. Groove Coaster and U-Beat come to mind. With this, you can absolutely still react or sight read it, but because there's those logistics of needing how to wear and how to angle your hands, having some familiarity with the chart is going to help.
So Shinji, I want you to take a look at this chart and tell me if you notice anything a little unusual about it.
Yeah, I was about to ask chat. Let me know, chat. Do you notice anything odd about this chart? But yeah, also talking about this song, this is EMEA, which is a great revenge song from Naoki. Super, super fun.
And we're into the 10s now, by the way.
Ruffy is asking, will we free the panda by meeting the incentive? I mean, there's only one way to find out. We do still have time to make that incentive happen.
I do see plenty of woofs in the chat.
But, yeah, so where'd all the tap notes go? So yeah, this is a song where the charting has a couple hold notes, but it's mainly just flicks, directional slides, there's no taps. Again, super, super fun.
Especially this part.
Again, talking about how sometimes you'll have opposite direction flicks, so you kind of get like a pseudo like turntable scratching motion. Incredibly fun to execute. Like, I know there were a couple of, in Crossbeats, there were some dubstep songs that did that, and, you know, for the wubs, it had you doing that. 10 out of 10 sharding. Just really, really fun.
I still get nightmares when I think back to Palpitation, which is 16th note dig at like almost 200 BPM.
Yeah, and look at that circling at the end to finish it off. Again, great sharding.
PB. Anyway,
PB!
If you're wondering where all the tap notes went, you got 2 songs left to get those donations in, and we can find out.
Yeah, I know where those tap notes went, to those 2 11s, and we'd love to show them on stream.
So I did what you were talking about speed mods. Well, first, if you just got here and you're seeing the 10s, we started off at 5, which it goes down to 1, so we didn't even start off at the beginning of where it is. It's very accessible from the get-go, and you mentioned the speed mods, that I'm having the notes appear at a fast rate. Even among high-level players, I read very fast, but if you haven't played rhythm games, you don't know about speed mods, why would you want to make it faster? Well, it reduces the amount of stuff that you see on the screen at once, and you're not really processing every individual note. It's just C note, hit note, C note, hit note. So you're trying to set up the timing so that you just immediately react to it.
Yeah. Overall, typically in any music game, as you get better at it, you'll usually use a higher speed mod, but it is not a matter of you have to have it fast to be good. It is personal preference. It is whatever helps you do the thing.
So, somebody was hyped for Black Lolita. We have a second Black Lolita song, and this features one of my favorite patterns in this game. I kind of call it the spine, and you'll see it when it comes on.
Also, Allo is asking about the avatars. Yes, so there is a default avatar with this game, but you can import 3D models. Let's see here. It was if you have it on the Vroid model.
I need to jump in super quick if you don't mind.
Oh, go for it, go for it.
We have a $248.79 donation from Musical. This weekend we've come together for another amazing marathon. In tough times, we need to rely on each other and find the good and the love in one another. Thank you to everyone who made this possible. Trans rights are human rights. Woo!
Incredible! Thank you so much for that.
And that puts us to $425.28. That we really are very close. Let's see if we can get it towards the end. Let's keep us going.
Yeah, would love to see that showcase. It might free the panda, and there's only one way we're going to find out if it does. I mean, if during those 2 songs, like, jammitch is tapping so much it breaks the screen, that might help the panda get out. But again, we're only going to see those songs if we can meet that donation incentive. Also, just incredible Black Lolita.
I'm jamming.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no, I'm jammitch. That's different. This part
we can
is
free the
so
panda.
Fun.
We have around, give or take, about $75 to go before we hit that target. Come on. We can believe that. We can believe. You can do it. Get the awoos in. Free the panda. How about a $5 train to keep things going? Let's give it a go. Let's do this.
Got 1 song left. So, I believe in you. I believe in all of us.
Ooh, just incredible play, too. Now we've already had a couple of PBs. Just incredible work, jammitch.
Alright, so I'm going to take a second here, but I'm going to make things a little bit spicy here. We're going to turn on Hazard Gauge for this last song.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to do something where it is going to, like, you're going to actually see it a little bit, because if I did it earlier, you wouldn't really get the full appreciation of just how brutal Hazard Gauge is, but we've got it clear. I'm pretty darn confident that we're going to get this.
I
So,
have to cut in here. I'm very, very sorry. I have to cut in here because
Oh,
we have
go
done
for
it. We
Slip,
have
let's go!
done it. We have a $10 donation from Patchcat who simply says, I believe. And then we have a further $80 from Musicwell, who says, you know what? One more push to get it over the line. Free the panda! And you know what? You have done it. You have freed the panda. The hard mode showcase is going to happen. Well done, everyone. I believed. I've always believed in you, chat. Always
Thank
believed. And
you
now
so
you've
much.
done it. And
Yeah,
we
Go ahead.
we have just went over $8,600 for Trans Lifeline as a result of this. Well done, everyone.
Let's
Give
go!
yourselves hype. Give every one of yourselves hype for this. Well done, everyone. Trans rights.
Taking a moment, again, Musicwell, and everyone who's donated, everyone tune in, vibing. Thank you so much for being here and making all of this wonderful things happen. So, a quick moment to talk about hazard mode. So, up at the top, we might have noticed that life bar has changed to purple. So, we've got Fantastics, the best judgment in the game, and then we've got Greats. If getting Greats, which is the second best, what if those drained your life bar? What if it was possible that you were keeping combo and you still failed out? So, yeah, there's the regular life bar, which is, you know, keep it full and survive to the end of the song, and then there's the hazard bar, which is, are you full comboing? No, go home. Are you still full comboing? Are you full comboing hard enough? Yeah, hazard bar is terrifying, and it's actually a life gate that has been in other Naoki games, such as Crossbeats, Seven's Code, and even in the most recent one, Match VP. I have a lot of trouble with hazard bar, so the fact that Jammitch is just casually tossing it on a 10. Big flex! Big flex! Yeah, like you can see, even though we're still comboing, bar keeps like going down every now and then. And then when we're breaking comboing, it's nose diving. The hazard is terrifying.
Look at Jammitch go.
Yeah, because we can see.
Those last
just
notes
had
are
a-
so twisty.
I was about to say, we just had a couple of miss combos, and we're already almost at half gauge.
Yeah.
Like, it just takes literally a second of miss execution, and then
Yeah.
that's it. It's
Yes.
over.
7, 6, and 5. That's all it took to lose half my life bar, and that's with all those Fantastics on there.
Incredible handiwork, quite literally.
Okay.
GG's.
And that's, I should call that time for the main run, by the way.
But now, Jammitch, are you ready for this?
I'm taking a second. Just a second, though.
Rightfully-
We only got 5 minutes, so I can't take too long.
But rightfully so. So again, this is a game where the songs are 1 through 11, and we're about to do 2 11s. If you thought what you saw was impressive, this is about to get gnarly. I can barely follow visually, just as it watching, let alone playing, but just watching. I can barely keep up with 9s. Grab your popcorn and sit back, folks. This is going to be hilarious. So what's on deck first?
So we have Tokyo Traffic He Eurobeat Remix. This is 895 notes of Eurobeat, which is everybody's favorite car drifting genre.
As it should be.
Yes.
And yeah, Rubicon, very well stated. It goes to 11.
It might one day go to 12.
But yeah, both just because this is an amazing song and because I actually want to more accurately watch Jammitch's work here, I'm going to be kind of like stepping back for this because, oh boy. Although I am remembering that this does a lot of tracing around like the outside edge of the playfield, which is kind of neat.
can we get a bunch of dancing emotes in the chat right now? We need to jam to this.
Ooh, that is a delightful idea.
I would suggest using your bop emotes now and your jam emotes for the next song.
All I can provide is a wiggle. But wiggles are good.
Part's slow, it's easy, right? Very no.
I mean, yeah, it's a slow BPM song. Slow, like speed, always different difficulty. Once again, ring around the rosy with this note pattern.
Not done yet.
I mean, it is kind of tradition that music game songs always end twice.
Is that all? There's a really great Pro ZD video about that. If you're aware of him.
Yeah, that video is a bullseye for how it works.
So many triangles. We got a few more triangles left. Just
a couple.
Just a couple.
And again, quite a bit of dancing in chat. Love to see that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, Yoshi, great idea. Thank you.
All right, J-Core. We've been through 22 songs. We haven't had any J-Core yet. Here's the J-Core. It's 200 BPM. This song is like the second newest song in the game. For my money, it's the hardest song in the game. So if you if you've been saving any of those jam emotes from the last song, here's where I want you to use them.
And yeah, shockingly, no J-Core up till now. But oh boy, is this a doozy. So where are the triangles? Oh, here they are. Yeah, just the sheer speed that you have to switch between pattern types, let alone the fact that these bursts are incredibly dense.
Those one-handed
Absolutely an 11.
One-handed rolls are killer.
Hi, we're DeltaBeats. We don't have more than 2 notes at once, so that way you can have an avatar play along. And then I see charts like this. It's just like, are you sure about that?
Chill breakdown. It's over.
And yeah, Ruffy Raccoon. Yes, this is how you free the panda. Yes.
That's time for real.
Ooh, incredible!
Whew. Right, so, thanks Shinji, hanging out on my couch. Thanks to all the touchscreen rhythm gamers, Touchy Beats, to the community helping keep all this stuff alive. Thanks to Iwate Evolved, particular thanks to Bita, who's kind of the English-Japanese liaison, doing the good work promoting his own game over on the Japanese restream. So if you want dev commentary and you understand Japanese, go catch that VOD. Thanks to Fastest Furs for having me. Shinji, you got anything else to add in?
I just wanted to echo, again, thank you to Iwate Evolve for this project and being as dedicated to the community as you have been. And again, Fastest Furs for letting us showcase an incredible game and also to helping support an incredible cause. And most of all, thank all of you in chat for being here. Again, whether you've been able to donate or just help spread the word and hanging out with us here and now, thank you so much. You are wonderful. Don't forget that.
And one more reminder. It's available iOS, Android, phone, tablet, whatever. It's easier to play on a tablet, but you can play on your phone. 80% of the songs are free, and all the songs that do have DLC, those proceeds go to support independent Japanese arcades who you might think of Japan as being this arcade paradise, but no, they really need the help over there too. So, I think that's all I got. Thanks for having me again, and let's see some Vivid Stasis real soon.
Yeah, very excited for that. And again, Fastest Furs, thank you so much.